This is episode 1 in a series of 20. This series will focus specifically on out-of-place artifacts. A link to the playlist will be added to the description. Unusual artifacts have been found all over the world. Some have been explained by modern science, but others, like the one we are going to look at today, remain a complete mystery. The more I learn, the more I understand that I know nothing. Alexander Chuvyrov, Doctor of Physical and Mathematical Science at Bashkir State University, Russia. Planning a large project begins with the realization of a scale model on which we can think and work. The map of the Creator is possibly one of the most recent UPARTs discovered, although its actual discovery dates back to the 1990s. It refers to a three-dimensional map that reaches so far back in time not even hominids existed on our planet. For those wondering, the earliest hominids are believed to be Sahelanthropus chadensis, dating 7 million years ago. Whilst this find may sound strange or even implausible, we should not write it off just yet. Nobody really knows who was living on our planet millions of years ago. Researchers like Michael Criamo have documented human-like footprints all over the world. Sometimes they date up to 200 million years old. Metal objects have also been found embedded in coal, dating to 150 million years old. While they may not have been humans exactly like us on this planet, it's entirely possible that a different race once graced the Earth with their presence in the very, very distant past. The map wasn't widely known until it was publicized in Pravda, the official Russian newspaper, on April 30th, 2002. The headline stated, 120 million-year-old stone represents a relief map of the Urals. In the same report, the newspaper added that, according to American scientists from the Wisconsin Institute of Cartography, the three-dimensional map was intended for aerial navigation, as it could only be the result of an aerospace study. At first glance, this also sounds like a rather outlandish statement. However, anyone who has studied ancient Indian texts like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata will know that aerial vehicles did exist in the ancient world. Furthermore, ancient myths from around the globe constantly talk about gods coming down from the skies. How does one come down from the heavens unless they are in an airborne vehicle of some sort? Incidentally, if we go by the ages of Yugas, the Ramayana happened around 870,000 years ago during Treta Yuga. Strangely, the Popol Vuh confirms. From where they were, they saw all. They saw the round face of the earth. The authors of this map, the group of creators, therefore, appeared to be in the space during the planning of creation. The map is sometimes referred to as the Dashka stone in honor of the granddaughter of Professor Alexander Chuvyrov, who was born the day before the discovery. It is also called the Bashkir rock, due to the place where it was found, but the most popular name is the map of the Creator. The lowercase c is used for the word creator so as not to refer to any divine function, but rather a purely Cartesian formulation. As Chuvyrov himself explained, we decided to call the mapmaker simply the Creator, not because we believe in any supposed divine intervention, but for purely grammatical reasons to refer to the one who modeled it. The title also helped the Russian professor dismiss any theories of ancient astronaut intervention. He remarked, "I don't like talking about UFOs or aliens." However, let's think about this for a moment. If the professor does not believe that extraterrestrial civilizations have visited our planet in the past, then who does he think made this artifact, assuming it's real? Professor Chuvyrov had this to say on the subject: "The Dashka stone forces us to see beyond the traditional perception of mankind, and we need time to get used to it." Incidentally, Chuvyrov has been listed as a noteworthy physicist by Marquis Who's Who. As is often the case with many scientific discoveries, the expedition to the Urals wasn't aimed at finding this stone, but rather at supporting the hypothesis of ancient Chinese migrations to Siberia and the Ural Mountains. The preparation for these studies was set by a team from Bashkir State University in 1995. In 1998, fieldwork started on the project. Initially, the team found a number of ancient petroglyphs matching unique ancient Chinese scripts, which supported their migration theories. A fascinating discovery, no doubt, but something far more interesting was awaiting discovery. During these investigations, the archaeologists heard rumors from locals about strange stones engraved with seemingly indecipherable vertical symbols. Months of fruitless searching led archaeologists to believe it was just another local myth. Few countries can claim to have as many myths as Russia. However, they eventually found notes in the archive of the Governor-General of Ufa from the 18th century. These fascinating notes recounted the existence of about 200 mysterious carved stone tablets near the village of Chandar in the Nurimanov region of Russia. Other sources indicated that in the 18th and 19th centuries, Russian expeditions had studied white tablets in the Urals. There were also notes that archaeologist A. Schmidt had also seen them in Bashkir at the beginning of the 20th century. Their research took a turn for the better on July 21, 1999, when Vladimir Krynov, former chairman of the local agricultural committee, revealed to Chuvyrov the existence of a mysterious stone tablet partially buried under the porch of an old house. "At first I did not take that report seriously," Chuvyrov said. "However, I decided to go to that yard and have a look. Under the porch of the house, I saw the slab. It was so heavy that we could not take it out. So I went to the city of Ufa to ask for help. A week later, its extraction began. The large stone measured 148 centimeters high, 106 centimeters wide, 16 centimeters thick, and weighed at least a ton. Subsequently, it was sent to the University of Ufa for study. Once the residual earth was cleaned, the researchers could not believe what they had in front of them. Chuvyrov said, "I understood that this was not a simple stone piece, but instead an actual map. Not a simple map, but a three-dimensional one. You can see it yourself." As for its origin, scientists initially leaned toward the theory of Chinese origin due to the hieroglyphic syllabic inscriptions in a vertical direction present on the surface of the stone. However, this hypothesis was soon dismissed as there were no linguistic references to this type of writing. As of the time of writing, most of the hieroglyphs have not yet been deciphered and remain a mystery. Chuvyrov, however, states he has cracked one sign on the map. Professor Chuvyrov hypothesized that it was related to the city of Ufa and that the Ufa fault in Sterlitamak is also represented on the map. Not only that, to the scientist, it illustrated in three-dimensional relief with incredible accuracy the Russian region of Bashkiria. Chuvyrov says, "The technology for compiling such maps demands superpower computers and aerospace survey from the shuttle. Further investigation by a group of Chinese and Russian specialists determined through magnetic resonance that the geological structure of the excavation consisted of 3 levels. This strongly suggests that it did not originate in nature, but was artificially made. The base is made of dolomite 14 centimeters thick. The middle layer, which contains the engraved image, is made of diopside crystal. The third layer, 2 millimeters thick, is made of calcium porcelain, likely intended to protect the map from impacts and weather. And indeed, if it was carved at the date the scientists believe, it served its purpose well. It should be noted that the technology for processing diopside to create this relief map has yet to be identified. Natural diopside is very hard to find, which has caused a massive demand for this mineral in recent years. Scientists initially suspect that the tablet was created about 3,000 years ago. However, it is exceedingly difficult to date the stone with radiocarbon. A more exhaustive analysis revealed the presence of 2 fossils in the stone, one 500 million years old, and the other 120 million years old. Still, nothing allows us to know if these remains were already fossilized at the time the map was created. Though the actual date of the map is unknown, it is clearly very old. The technical know-how involved in creating such an accurate map surpasses that of any ancient culture previously believed to have occupied the region or anywhere else on Earth for that matter. Indeed, the intricate detail and advanced craftsmanship of the map serve as proof of a highly advanced civilization existing in the distant past. Another curious thing is that X-ray analysis reveals that the carving was made with precision instruments. The analysis categorically excludes the possibility of such incisions being made with stone tools. It should be noted, the professor said, that the relief has not been made by an ancient stonecutter. It is simply impossible. It is obvious that the stone was machined. But there are even more unresolved mysteries. Comparing it with a geographic map of the Bashkiria region led a team of cartography and geology specialists to conclude that it is a three-dimensional map of the area on a scale of 1 to 1.1 kilometers. Fortunately, the territory of Bashkiria has not changed much over the last few million years. After recovering it, Chuvyrov was shocked because the map most accurately described many existing natural features. With the help of Chinese and Russian experts, it was found that the ancient map also depicted rivers like the Belia, Ufimka, and Sutolka. You can clearly see a break in the crust of the earth stretched out from the city of Ufa to the town of Stalitimak. Today, this is known as the Ufa Canyon. At the moment, Urshak River runs over the canyon. But what is just as old is that the map also has features that no longer exist. For example, the presumed creator or creators also engraved an entire irrigation system through canals approximately 12,000 kilometers long. Furthermore, there are 12 dams, each between 300 and 500 meters wide and 3 kilometers deep. This would have required the extraction of more than 1 quadrillion cubic meters of earth. If they did indeed exist, it would imply the use of civil engineering and an immense workforce. In fact, it would be such a large-scale task, it's difficult to even imagine how it could be done today, despite all of our modern technology. Some investigators suggest that the Dashka stone is just one of 348 similar fragments that together represent a relief map of the Earth. According to proponents of this theory, these fragments should be found near the site of the first discovery. If such a hypothesis were true, the gigantic map would measure about 340 meters long by the same width, but nothing has yet been found to support this theory. However, let's not forget the notes in the archive of the Governor-General of Ufa, which recount the existence of about 200 mysterious carved stone tablets in the Nurimanov region. If these are ever rediscovered and do indeed form part of a world map, then everything we know about the history of our planet will need to be reassessed. This fact that the map displays features like irrigation systems and canals kind of reminds me of Sitchin's Anunnaki theory. For those who don't know, here is a quick recap. In his series of books titled The Earth Chronicles, Sitchin claimed that an extraterrestrial race known as the Anunnaki came to our planet around 450,000 years ago. Shortly after they arrived, they found gold, a precious commodity which they needed for their stricken home planet, Nibiru. After growing tired of doing the heavy lifting in the gold mines, they decided to upgrade an existing species of human to take over the work. Some of this work involved creating massive irrigation systems, just like the ones we see on the map of the Creator. I can't say for sure whether this map has anything to do with the Anunnaki. Still, they had aerial capabilities, advanced technologies, and they built irrigation systems hundreds of thousands of years ago. Is all this just an interesting coincidence? Some sacred books, disseminated from very ancient oral traditions, such as the Popol Vuh or the Torah, explain how our planet was terraformed by a group of creators. Maybe they were correct after all. It is interesting to note that the Torah, in the chapter of Garden of Eden, speaks about a huge irrigation system, the planting of the garden. Now a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided and became 4 rivers. The name of the first is Pishon. The name of the second river is the Gihon. The name of the third river is Tigris, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. The head of the Elohim took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. All of these rivers also represent a system of irrigation of several thousand kilometers. There is a but in this fascinating story, as noted by the Committee for the Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal and various other academic institutes. They claim that the cracks are just an interesting coincidence. Another problem is that unfortunately, there is no Institute of Cartography in Wisconsin. An association called the History of Cartography Project does exist and is based in Madison, Wisconsin, But this center categorically denies being the one cited by Pravda. Is it an authentic UPArt, or is it just an old piece or rock? I will leave you to decide. Today, the map of the creator continues to undergo scientific testing, but unfortunately is not available for public viewing. Keep an eye out for episode 2. Thanks for watching.